So we're here for our first video. I'm here. My name is Vincent. I'm here with Nate, and somewhere in the background we've got Angela, who's going to join us tonight. But we wanted to get out here tonight and just kind of introduce ourselves and just kind of talk to you really quick about what we're looking to do and get some feedback from everybody. So, if, Nate, you want to introduce yourself real quick and a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. My name's Nate Hahn. I'm 38 years old. I'm a United States Army veteran, combat veteran. Kind of when you brought this idea to me, I was super intrigued, super excited about jumping into it, because I do myself suffer from anxiety, depression, PTSD, substance abuse. I've been dealing with all that stuff for a long time. And that stigma that we have to hold it in and keep it in is just, it's not real anymore. It's okay. Like you said the other day, it's okay not to be okay. And people out there need to have a place to go to where they can come and talk to people that are going through the same stuff. They have to have a release. And I find, especially being in the treatment world myself, there's just not enough of that out there. And I think that, at least my idea of doing this, I think you're pretty much on the same page, is, we want to provide this platform for people to go to release whatever's going on in their head, to get that stuff out there, to talk to people that are going through the same stuff. And I'm just here just to share my experience, share the struggles that I've gone through, that I'm going through, and, if possible, provide some advice or some guidance as to what you can use to get through some of that stuff. It's a daily, like I said, it's a daily thing for me. I'm actually in treatment right now. I'm at the VA hospital. I'm at one of their programs for PTSD and stuff right now. But I'm learning new stuff every day, and this is nothing new to me. And the more people I can help, the better. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
So, whatever I can do to help, I will be here. You guys can reach us. I know Vincent will put out our email address, go to the Facebook page. And you can contact me directly through Facebook as well. I'm more than happy to help anybody that needs it, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that the important thing is especially during, the COVID-19 pandemic and with quarantine, I know Angela and myself, we've both seen a lot of people who've kind of just been struggling with, having to be alone right now, who maybe like myself, I like to go out, go to the bars, hang out with friends. It's stressful, but I think that the idea is just for us to help as many people, give them an outlet and let them know, they're not alone. So thanks for sharing a little bit about yourself. One of the things that, I think that people miss, like you said, right? We say it all the time. It's okay to not be okay. But I think that, you had posted it the other day on the page, and I think on Instagram, that we're taught, especially as males growing up, to kind of hide it and bury it. But I think we got to break that stigma, right? We were told growing up, it's, look, you got to kind of face it, man up, and just bury that feeling and move forward. But it's not exactly a healthy thought process. Would you expand on that, or you think that's pretty much hitting the nail on the head?
No, that's definitely hitting the nail on the head. Not only, especially as men, where we taught that growing up, but to add an extra element to that, going into the military, it was basically, you're going to deal with, suck it up, deal with it, move on, soldier on,
Right.
Man the fuck up, excuse my language. But, and I see that more and more every day in a lot of veterans that I work with and that I'm in treatment with, which is part of the reason why the veteran suicide rate is so high, which is also something that I'm advocating for and I'm trying to work on myself. But, as men in general, at least up until the last 4 or 5 years, everybody was taught as a male growing up that, you're not allowed to have feelings. You're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to be emotional. And that's total bullshit. It's, that world is done and over with. And you're going to start seeing a lot more treatment in terms of male psychotherapy, getting into their emotions and getting them to open up.
Right.
And that's something that I've been dealing with myself. I had a hard time getting that stuff out and admitting that I had a problem, whether it be with my substance abuse or whether it be with my PTSD, anxiety, depression, whatever it may be. You don't want to sit there in front of a therapist or a group of people, let alone, and tell somebody that you're not okay.
Right. It's definitely difficult.
Yeah. That's not the normal anymore, and I have no issue getting on camera, getting online, talking to a group of people and saying, you know what, I'm fucked up. Like, I have issues. And
Right.
I'm okay stating that, because it's something I'm working on a daily basis. And it's something that's allowing me to help others realize as well, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, sharing our stories is very, it's hard, but I think once we start talking about it, it becomes easier, right? You've been very forthright with what's going on in your life. Obviously, first and foremost, thank you for your service. And, to see you struggling with PTSD, anxiety, depression, things like that, obviously it's a lot. It's not just affects the general public, but we see it obviously in our veterans, especially when they're coming back, from deployment. And I grew up in a military family, so I see what it does. Myself, I was diagnosed about 11, 12 years ago, clinical depression, anxiety, ADHD. So I understand where everybody's going, right? Everybody's mindset's very different, but it's how we handle it. So if you were to give everybody the one piece of advice that you would think, like, look, anything we talk about over the coming weeks and months and however long we're able to do this, if there's one piece of advice that you would give today that you would give in 10 years, what would that be to people?
It would probably just be to open your mouth. Whether it be your best friend, your mom, your dad, your wife, your husband, your next door neighbor, your therapist, whoever it may be, you have to let that stuff out. Even if you just start writing it down by yourself, because the more you let that stuff build inside you, the more it eats at you, and it tears you apart. And even if you think that somebody's going to call you weak, or somebody's going to call you pathetic, or, you're not strong enough, you don't have that willpower to get through what you're going through, you got to stay away from that kind of negativity. I mean, getting that stuff out in the open is a huge burden off of anybody. I can tell you firsthand, I've done it a couple of times, and, kind of like one of the posts I made tonight about some of the trauma therapy I went through today. I mean, that shit was hard.
Yeah.
It was super emotional for me trying to talk about that stuff. But you know what? 2 hours later, I felt 10 times better. And is it gone? No. Am I still dealing with it? Yes. But it gets a little easier every time you get it out. And you don't have to go get in front of a group of people and talk to a bunch of people, or go see a shrink or a doctor, whoever it may be.
Right.
Find somebody you can confide in and just open up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of it. We saw a comment the other day on the page that asked, what else can we do? Family, friends, it's not just necessarily the person that's struggling, but it's the people around them, and what can they do to help us without enabling? And, the response that I put up there was very simple. It's, you just got to know that we need to know that somebody's there. We want to know that we just need to be, a lot of times felt that we're being heard, and there's nothing you can do. We just need somebody to give us an ear, just let us vent. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think everybody's going to process very differently. I think it's just important for people to know that if we're coming to you, just like we want people, obviously, to have an outlet anywhere, whether it's, like you said, it's a doctor, a friend, neighbor, whoever, to just listen with an open mind and open heart and without judgment, and just know that we're there. And, we just want to know somebody's listening to us. And that's really about it for a lot of people. But I think that, what we're trying to accomplish is first and foremost, right, to let people know it's okay, right? They're not alone. We all are fighting different battles, but no, we're not alone in this, right? Everybody else is struggling just like we are in some facet.
Yeah, 100%, and I think the biggest thing that we need to put out there to everybody that's watching, to everybody that's looking for help, I mean, we're by no means here to judge. Your situation could be 10 times worse than mine, or I could be completely on the other side of the spectrum in terms of anxiety, depression, PTSD, whatever it may be. We're just here to listen. And
Right.
I think that's one of the biggest reasons people don't open up and they hold all that stuff inside, is because they're afraid of being judged. And I can tell you right now, you're more than welcome to contact me. I've got no issue listening to what you have to say, giving you a little bit of advice if you want it. If you just need somebody to vent to, I'm here. No judgment whatsoever. I think we're all under that same premise together. And, I think people just need to realize that it's okay to get that stuff out. We're not here to judge. We're not going to judge you whatsoever. So if you need the help, reach out. And if you don't reach out to us, then reach out to somebody else that's willing to listen.
Right. And I think that's an important thing, right? Most importantly, right, you and I and Angela and the people that follow us, we all know this is an outlet just to be heard, right? We're
Yeah,
sharing
absolutely.
advice and tips. But one of the things for anybody who watches this, obviously, is to make sure, we're not licensed physicians. We're not medical professionals, and that they would need to seek that advice from a professional rather than just listen to us, right? Again, just an outlet. So that's kind of the thing. I think that moving forward, obviously, we want to hear from other people, some topics they want to talk about. And eventually, I think we're going to try to grow this into some, bigger recordings, bigger meetings with people. But before we kind of wrap up for the night, is there anything else you'd like to add, or you think we kind of hit everything that we needed to for the first video here?
Yeah, I mean, for the first video, just kind of getting it out there, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish. Most importantly, I hope that whoever's out there watching this knows that, we're here whenever you need somebody to talk to, whenever you need something. Like you said yourself, we're not licensed physicians. I'm not a doctor or a psychologist, psychiatrist by any means, but, what I try to bring to the table is just my experience through going through, different treatments and different therapies and dealing with it myself. And on the other side of that, I've been that guy that's sat there and isolated for months at a time and drank myself to almost death and have been severely depressed and had panic attacks because of anxiety. I mean, I've experienced it all, and am I still dealing with some of that? Yeah, absolutely. I'm probably going to deal with it for the rest of my life, but it's something that I'm overcoming. And, by being able to get out there and talk to others and help others out there, I mean, it's helping me, myself, which I'm eternally grateful for.
Good.
So, I hope in the future we can get some feedback from some of the people out there that are watching, and hopefully we get some more live videos going that, answer some certain questions or hold some meetings on certain topics. I mean, I'm open 24/7, whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, I think that's good for everybody who's going to watch this knows is that we're there and we want to absolutely be involved and help them. So I think, the best way to get a hold of us right now is our email address, yourmentalhealthawareness@gmail.com. It's all spelled out. Yes, I know it's long, but again, that's yourmentalhealthawareness@gmail.com. Or like Nate said, hit myself or him up on Facebook. We're available there 24/7. We do our best to respond to everybody as fast as we can. But with that, I want to thank everybody for kind of watching. And Nate, thank you for sharing your story and telling us more about yourself.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So we'll talk again soon. And, we look forward to your topic suggestions. Guys, have a great night.